Welcome back. Most South African high school pupils struggle with pure maths and physical science, and this leads to a negative impact on the final matric pass mark and further lowers options going into institutions of higher learning. Enter Krazifizix. The aim is to help pupils master maths and physics. For more on this conversation, we are now joined by Krazifizix founder Komolefe Bishop Omolumu and two students who've gone through the program, Tapelo Mashoja and Nina Mwambi Ndovi. Thank you so much for joining us on Newsroom Africa. Welcome and congratulations to you guys for passing your maths and science.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Bishop, let's start off with you. Krazifizix. Take us through the concept. What is it about?
All right, from the name.
Yes.
Krazifizix.
Of course.
You know, I started in 2010. All right. I was in class and I did some things and Elena just shouted, "Oh, sir, this is crazy."
Okay.
And that's where the name came from.
Oh, wow.
All right. And all along the idea has been to just find a way of dealing with this difficult subject. Breaking it down into simple, enjoyable, fun-loving concepts, you know, using a lot of concepts to bring down a whole lot of difficult things so that a learner can then, you know, practice with it, understand the concept, and enjoy it. That's just the main thing.
I mean, when you talk about maths and enjoying, I mean, I did maths high grade in high school, and I don't remember any moment of enjoyment. What is it that you bring into those lessons to make it memorable and enjoyable, like you say?
All right, the first thing for maths is just to realize that, you know, you need to tell learners that maths is fun.
Okay.
And one question they'll ask you is, "But sir, where are we going to use all of this?" And then, but they don't realize that everything we do every day has to do with maths. So you've got to find a way as a teacher to bring in the excitement into the class. First thing is to make your personality adorable to them so that they don't hate you and don't hate the subject. So some would like you and not like the subject
itself.
Some would like the subject and not like you. But if you get into a place of equilibrium where they like you and they like the subject, then they're always looking forward to doing maths.
Now, during the year, a lot of students would quite often come across their content through the teacher in the class. How important is it for parents to start exploring other alternatives for children to be able to get that subject matter from other sources other than from the teacher in the class? Because sometimes, like you say, they don't like the teacher or they don't like the subject, and then it becomes difficult, and then there's that bridge between them and the person who's teaching the subject. So how important is it for this extracurricular to be present outside of the school for students to be able to excel?
It is very important to see that people would always do the same thing from different angles. And hence, it's important to have a 360 degrees towards a particular concept. Hence, it's necessary to outsource sometimes, all right? So that whatever is explained in school is re-explained from a different angle, and then you find it as, "Oh yeah, that's what my teacher was trying to say."
That aha moment.
Thank you.
Right.
You know, and you know what happens when Elena says aha? I tell them, "Say it again," and they go aha.
And then it really sinks in.
Absolutely.
Nina, maybe let's bring you into this conversation. So you joined Krazifizix last year in September.
Yes,
and which subjects were you doing with them? Was it physics or just mathematics?
Both maths and physics.
Both of them?
Yes.
And how were your results at the end of the year?
Oh, I got a level 6. I was very excited, very happy. Yeah, it was an improvement from my previous result.
So it's an improvement from, maybe if you can speak a bit louder so that we can tell your story and people will be able to enjoy it. So you were at level 4.
Yes.
You then joined Krazifizix. So in a matter of what, 3 months, you were able to move up 2 levels. What was done differently in the classroom that in just 2 months you were able to move up in such a short space of time?
He teaches really well. When he's doing past papers, he goes into depths of how he got there. Right? It's not like other teachers where they just teach the concept. He teaches how to actually apply the concept.
Okay.
Yes.
That's very amazing. And of course, were you joining the classes physically?
Yes, I was running.
You were?
Yes.
All right. And Thapelo, you obtained 97% in mathematics and 94% in physical science. And I believe this is the first time you and Bishop are meeting today because you attended the classes online.
Yes,
take us through that experience. When did you join Krazifizix and how did it work for you?
I believe it was March in 2023. So what happened is that we had a group chat where matriculants were there. So there were people who were in university within that group who were helping around. So what I do is that I look at those who answer specific type of questions and I see, this is a brilliant person. So I texted one of them and I'm like, what's the secret? And
they said Krazifizix.
Krazifizix. And that was when I first saw the video. It was during physics, the first video that I saw, and ever since I've never, moved away from that type of content because it's beyond human comprehension. I believe it's supernatural. It's the mnemonics, everything that just happens is nothing human. So I believe that what changed most was my mindset because he makes you believe that it's easy. And I think if we focus more on the intangible, which is your mindset, how your attitude towards school, I believe you can achieve more. Because studying, everybody will tell you work hard.
Of course.
We hear that every time. But your mindset is, I think it's the focal point that everybody needs to focus on, and that perspective that it gives us that you can do this. It's easy, as the song says.
Bishop, you are a full-time teacher.
Yes.
At a school. And then you also do this with students across the country because some are online and some meet up with you physically. How do you find the time to navigate and balance it out and ensure that you're getting all these A students coming out at the end of the year?
Well, that's a very difficult task to do. And, I would always have, I have a statement that says somebody can steal your vision, but they can't steal your passion.
Sure.
Right, so it's passion. A lot of things go into it, Coming from my main school, all right, the Nesha Muslim School, did very well. I was hoping I was actually going to be on the MEC stand. Missed it by 2%.
By 2%?
By 2%,
Sure.
But the school did extremely well, 100% pass rate, 95% bachelors. Yeah, but I can really tell you that coming after school for extra class, it is exhausting and tiring. And one of the things that keeps me going is the messages I get. I remember Thapelo sent me a message in March and was like, how do you do it? How do you explain it? Where do you get these things from?
Yes.
And I told him, well, I think it's just an inspiration. It's supernatural. And I think he just took it like that, So it's very difficult. It is very difficult. But if you look at the goal and look at education as saving an African child, it empowers you as an educator. It goes beyond a child getting a 30, child getting a 40, but you're looking at changing a whole generation. That alone sets you up, even when you're sleeping. These kids send me messages at 2 a.m., at 3 a.m., because they think they are the only one you're dealing with.
But what I also want to understand, Bishop, is that being in the education space, being a teacher at a school, when you understand the systems in terms of how maths and science is taught. And then you have this different way of doing it. How is it that our education system is not finding those easy ways for any learner that even doesn't come across Krazifizix to be able to understand it in that supernatural way, as Thapelo says?
Well, a teacher first, and I think this is where we miss it. Teaching is not a profession. Teaching is a calling. I think that's where we miss it. A lot of people say, what do you want to study? I want to do teaching. Mm. Why? They have no specific goal to say, okay, why do you want to do teaching? So for me, teaching comes with a lot of inspiration. So a teacher needs to be self-inspired. And this is what I would say to the Department of Education. We need to do a lot of teacher training and be able to reproduce these great skills in different people. Because as a person, I'm limited no matter what I do. I'm just one. Okay, I've got colleagues. We do online. But we need to reproduce more bishops. And that can only happen when we have effective teacher training. We do some development and teacher training, and it's been wow, extremely wow.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Nina, I mean, you're here as a student that's been most improved within Krazifizix, also in the short space of time that you have joined the institution. How important is it to put in the work very early on in the year, and what are you looking to do now in 2024?
I would advise people to sign up now, because if I started during March or January, I would have been a distinction, and I would have had a distinction for my finals. If I was able to increase my marks in such a short space of time, I always wonder what I would have gotten if I was there the whole time. So I totally advise people to totally go to him now.
And you missed a distinction by?
By 8%.
By 8%. Yes. Wow, that's absolutely amazing. And your plans for 2024?
I plan on going overseas to the UK. That's where my mom applied.
And to study what?
To study radiography and diagnosis.
Wow, that's absolutely amazing. And you, Thapelo, what are your plans for the year ahead?
Going to UCT studying actuarial sciences.
Actuarial
That's
sciences.
what I believe I want.
Has this always been a dream of yours?
No, actually, I was in grade 11, and my teacher saw that there was potential in this boy. And he suggested the career to me. I had known nothing about it prior. So he suggested it, and I went to do some research. I saw it aligns very well with what I like, analytical stuff and the mathematical nature that it comes with. So that's what has always been my first love, and I'm glad to have been part of those that accepted.
And any words of inspiration for the matriculants of 2024?
So with the matriculants of 2024, this is a year that you cannot repeat. It's one of those years in school that you cannot repeat. You've got one try. And when you're writing that final paper, there's no sense of regret that you would like to feel. So now, there's no better moment than now. Because I believe in life, there are seasons. There are moments where you are most inspired. There are moments where you're not inspired as much. And I believe this moment where you're seeing results given out, there's distinctions left, right, and center, you are very motivated. And I believe if you can now, in this state of motivation that you're in, set systems that will allow you to progressively move forward, even when you don't feel like it, I promise you, you'll be smiling when you're writing that mathematics, physics paper, or any subject that you wish to do well in order to do what you thrive to do in the future.
Oh, wow, so inspirational. I can tell that it's not just the mathematics and the science that you're teaching, but you're really honing the young minds of these young people. Thank you so much for joining us, Bishop Nina Thapelo. We wish you all the best, and we hope to see many bishops, like you say, coming out of Krazifizix.